As the Japan vs France match has finally come to an end, we need to get ready for Japan's potentially last game in the World Cup against England. But before I get started on my predictions, let's do a quick recap of what's going on so far. Japan loses to France and Bartsuda is mad. He reminds Igo that if his team doesn't beat England, then the side B players in Seitoshi won't play, and that would make his whole fake blue lock test a total waste of money. Igo just tells him he'll get it done and leaves. After this, we also get a short glimpse of Nagi getting past the first stage in side B, moving to the next round alongside Kira, Shindo, and some other bumps. Anyway, back to what we really need to know. We cut back to Japan training and Karasu's giving the team a pep talk about Igo and how they should use it. And after this, bro, let me tell you, it gets even crazier. A random player walks in and just straight up tells them to lose their next match, and everyone's confused. Raichi literally says, "Who the hell are you?" which is fried me because genuinely, who is this guy? He introduces himself as Teddy Knight. He calls himself a worthless bungler on the England team, and by no shock, everyone low-key thinks he's a weirdo. Cause when Bachua thinks you're weird, that's a sign, bro. Aiku and Nanase then tell Teddy they're not gonna throw the match that easily, and that's when Teddy brings up a dude named Fox who told him to come here. And Kaneshiro, I'm sorry, but you're running out of names. Not everyone has to be named after an animal nowadays. Since they didn't listen, Teddy straight up kicks the ball into Bachua's face and says he needs to kill everyone. Bro, it's soccer. Relax, fam. Also, Aiku gets mad and calls Bachua our precious monster, which is, And bro, it doesn't end there. He straight up crosses Japan's best defenders, and oh my gosh, this panel is beautiful. Someone needs to color this right now. Bachua calls Teddy an egoist, and Teddy responds with, "I don't have an ego. I'm a worthless puppet." Anyway, Nanase finally recognizes him. Teddy doesn't even respond. He just crosses him and Raichi up for no reason and starts ranting about ego. We also see this tough panel of him just sliding, and oh my goodness, he might be him, bro. But that's when our Wonder Boys, Isagi and Rin, I guess, pull up and start dissing him. Rin and Isagi both start running to steal the ball, but then Teddy takes Rin and Isagi's ankles. Take in that Isagi is straight up using Metavision and still not touching him. But of course, Rin's bummer can't handle losing, so he grabs Teddy's collar and flips him over. You would probably think he's fried, but bro, this guy hits a Kiora Jin and break dances in the air while on Rin's shoulder. Rin, my brother, you are not beating the allegations. But that's when the GOAT Isagi pulls up to save Rin from looking like a fraud and steals the ball from Teddy Knight. Teddy asks for his name and Isagi tells him he's Blue Lock Yoichi Isagi. Teddy responds with some Socrates phrase like, "Without Blue Lock, you're just Yoichi Isagi." Then he just dips. After that, Blue Lock just discusses what happens and what their plan is going to be when they verse against England. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into my predictions for the Japan vs England match. First off, I think we all know that Rin is definitely benched, but for this match, I think Blue Lock will focus way more on defense than offense. In the last two matches, they've been heavy on offense, and we haven't seen many saves from our actual defenders. Aiku, Ryu, Gagamaru. Now let me get into my starting 11 for the England match. For GK, I have Gagamaru. That's locked in. I know I was just slandering him, but who else is going to play GK? If he messes up, then maybe Gen Fukaku will have his time to shine, but we'll see. For our center backs, I have Aiku and Nico. Yes, I'm taking out Ryu. He has height and some skill, but that's really all there is to it. For our left back, I have Yukimiya. This guy is literally another version of Teddy. Let's be honest, if this match doesn't showcase him, then sorry Yuki fans, it might be over. But I think there's some hope because in a recent interview, Kaneshiro said that Yukimiya fans will get some love. So we'll see. For our right back, I have Otoya. Yes, Otoya. This is a spoiler for who our defensive midfielder is going to be, but Karasu needs some help and he needs people he can link up with. Otoya is the perfect fit. As we saw from the France game, they can work together and make plays. Speaking of Karasu, for my defensive midfielder, there he is. This is self-explanatory. This guy carried Japan against France and had created multiple chances for them to score. There's no other reason not to put him on the pitch. For my left center mid and right center mid, I have Hiyori and Reo. These boys are the best passers in Blue Lock. They have Metavision and they can link up with our strikers. Hiyori can link up with Karasu and Isagi, and Reo can just copy anyone, making them both deadly. But I'm gonna need some more copies from Reo because not gonna lie, he's on fraud watch. Then that hurts to say as a Reo fan. For our attacking midfielder, I have Isagi. Sorry Isagi fans, but he is not a striker. He's never played the position ever and he's not built for it. Sorry, but I had to say it. Last but not least, for our strikers, I have Shido and Baro. These two are just different. Shido is the perfect striker to link up with, especially when we have midfielders like Rayo, which he played with in the second selection. And Baro is just Baro. When you need a goal, he's there. He's also very adaptable and can score in any situation he's put in. You can't hate him. And this is my starting lineup. For our subs, we know Rin is probably going to sub in last minute and score because of that talk he had with Isagi a couple chapters ago. But we'll see. And I'm sorry to all the Chibi fans, I did leave him out of the lineup, but that's because he hasn't really done anything in the last 2 matches. He's been a starter for both and hasn't proven himself in any way. As for Bachira, he did really good against Nigeria, but not so good against France, and that's mainly because they knew how he played. When we have people like Yukimiya ready to play who they haven't seen before, it puts us at a better chance of winning. Anyway, that's all for my video, and thank you for watching.